Chapter 7, Secret Secrets. Your moan echoes around the metallic locker as Drew presses his lips to yours, your voice sounding foreign, strange, hungry. Drew. It's all the encouragement he needs, and you feel Drew smirk as he pulls you closer to whisper in your ear. Shh, your moans of overwhelming lust are gonna give away our hiding spot. I wouldn't say overwhelming. Before you can finish, he grips your bare ass and pulls you against himself. Yep, no. Oh. You were saying. His gaze is pure challenge, and you can't help but give in as you dampen and throb at the apex. How's this for overwhelming? You cover his mouth with yours, running your tongue along his, and it sends a chill down your spine that doubles as he moans in your mouth. Anissa. Your heart pounds at the sound of your name on his lips. You need the expanse of his bare back, desperate for more. Like that? I'd like a lot more if I could practically feel you thinking. What could you possibly be in your mind right now? I'm thinking about Edwin. I'm gonna do it. Wow. I mean, I knew he had to be attracted to someone, but I'd be lying if I said it wasn't a hit to the ego. Oh, no, I meant, what if he catches us? Drew rests his forearms on either side of your head, drawing your attention back to his toned biceps and bare chest. Maybe, Bird, it'll be a cold day in hell before Edwin has dirt on me. Until then... He surges forward, catching your bottom lip between his teeth and nipping it gently before pressing his lips to yours. Wrap your arms around his neck, pulling him into you until his full weight pins you against the wall. Careful, I don't want to crush you. I'm not made of glass, Drew. You can be a little rough. Oh, really? And what's your idea of rough? His eyes sparkle with mischief in the low light, and he gives you a smack on the ass that makes your skin tingle. Besides a light spanking. I can show you better than I can tell you. Oh, please do. His tone is a blatant dare. And it's then you decide not to hold back. Pin him. You push him back against the locker, pinning his wrist to the wall, trailing a line of slow, sensual kisses up to the corner of his mouth. Oh. His lips part in a pant, and he bows his head to meet you in a kiss. You pull back, your fingertips gripping his skin tightly. I want to hear you beg first. He watches a smirk stretches across his face, but as he starts to respond, the smoke detector in your suite's kitchenette goes off, snapping your thoughts back to the present moment. Crap. Fanning away the smoke, you dispose of the burnt remains of your breakfast. I still can't believe any of that happened. The party, the chase, the feel of his lips on yours. Just the thought of it enough to make your feet shuffle across the floor in a happy dance. Nice moves. Until you whip around to find him behind you. Immediately, the butterflies in your stomach take flight. Hey, you. You expect a vain jab about him being the reason for your little two-step, but he just stalks closer, backing you into the corner. I've got a feeling you and I are excited about the same thing. I haven't stopped thinking about it since I woke up. He leans in, and the familiar scent of his cologne washes over you, making your heart race. Me neither, but now the wait is finally over. I should pull him in close. He's not probably thinking about the same thing as you. Grab your arms around his neck, pulling him in, and as you press yourself against him, his hands find your waist. What are you doing, baby bird? Picking up where we left off. You tilt your head as you lean in, his eyes flicker to your lips, before he clears his throat and pulls away. I was actually just gonna grab a mug. Nothing like a hot cup of coffee after a long night, right? Oh, right. You fall into silence as each of you tries to maneuver around the other, the kitchenette suddenly seeming much smaller. If you could just scoot a little to the left. Sorry, let me just... You each shuffle left, then right, still blocking the other's way until Drew takes a step back to let you pass. You know what? You first. As you slip by, Drew inches backwards, careful not to let any part of you so much as brush him. What the hell? Yesterday he was all over me. Now it's like he's afraid to touch me. Eager to test your theory, you grab a bagel and some cream cheese before setting your eyes on a butter knife near Drew. I should squeeze past and grab the knife and ask Drew to hand it over. If you're testing him. Innocently, you slip between Drew and the island countertop, bent over just enough to push your ass against him. Excuse me, I just need to grab a knife. It'll take one quick sec. His eyes wander down your spine, savoring every inch with a hunger that makes your blood race before hastily pulling away. Sorry, didn't realize I was in your way. He's totally trying to avoid me, but why? Behind you, Drew pours a steady stream of coffee into his cup, getting closer to the moment. He'll inevitably lead the sweet and you. If I'm gonna say anything, it's gotta be now or never. You whirl around until I'm getting an answer, but in the cramped space, you knock over Drew's mug, sending hot coffee splattering all over yourself. Oh. Hot. Out of sheer instinct, you whip your coffee-soaked shirt off, and when you look up, Drew's eyes are mapping a path between your breasts. Anissa. Your name on his lips brings back memories of last night, and as you meet his gaze, it's intense and dark as it was in the locker. He starts to reach for you, the warmth of his body on yours is all you can think of. Then he pulls back, his breath shaky. There should be a first aid kit around here somewhere. Drew, this is insane. What are we doing? Strip breakfast, apparently. Not sure whether I'm winning or losing, though. I'm serious. Last night we were making out. Now it's like I have an invisible force field. What's going on? I'm just respecting your rule. You know, no touching. Oh, didn't stop you yesterday. He tears his gaze away before heading into his room to pack his book bag. You follow, hot on his heels. That rule didn't stop you last night. As a matter of fact, you touched more of me than in that locker than you're pretending not to see right now. At the moment of your nearly nude body, Drew looks up from his bag, gaze trained squarely on your face. Called being a gentleman, besides. Last night was a one-time thing. I got caught up in the moment. I mean, I was naked. You were naked. He pauses for a moment, his eyes trailing down your dripping frame. No doubt imagining you as you were last night before clearing his throat. We were both on a high from the adrenaline of a suits versus skins game and the chase. We just got our wires crossed, that's all. Got our wires crossed? You say that like you aren't into me. You're beautiful. It's no secret I spent a fair amount of time undressed for reasons. I probably just conditioned myself to think naked equals intimate or something. But as your RA, I can promise it won't happen again. As he slings his bag over his shoulder, Drew shoots you a look dark and lustful. Or maybe, well, right after I get him to admit he's got it as bad for me as I do for him. Drew, you're so full of it. You know you want me. Hell, I know you want me. Why not just admit it? The only thing I'll admit to is wanting the coffee you're currently wearing. Come on, first aid kit's in here. Drew leads you into the bathroom before setting you down on the edge of the tub to grab the antiseptic cream from the kit. To be honest, you kiss me because you like it. Most people would be more concerned with the burn from the coffee, but you know, not you. You're my resident. I'm not allowed to like you. Plus, like indicates feelings, and I am strictly casual kind of guy. Okay, not like, but you're definitely find me attractive. As Drew kneels to wipe the cream on your patches angrily. Irritated skin, you lean forward to whisper in his ear. Why else would you be lubing up my boobs? Don't you think overselling the whole thing a little? Basically first aid. And last night? What's the makeup between roomies? If that's how you really feel? Why are you so focusing on so hard on my face? If you really don't feel anything towards me, it shouldn't be hard to look at me. All of me, I mean. As you speak, his eyes stay locked on your face, but as you scoot closer, you can see his resolve wavering. Even if I am just in a bra, all sticky and wet. You drag your fingertips across the swells of your chest. At the last word, his eyes flicker down, following their path. You've never been hard to look at, baby bird. It's just but let's just say I did lose control for a moment. His fingertips graze you, a light touch, easily mistaken as a swipe of antiseptic, but you know better. Let's just say I went so far as to kiss every tender inch of your body. His eyes roam, and you can't help but imagine his mouth lingering on you. What would it prove anyway? Who made kissing the romantic benchmark? You did. Were you, or were you not, the one who said, to clear your throat and try on a voice that sounds mildly like Drew's? Trust me, baby bird, when I kiss you, you'll know it. Benchmark set. First of all, I don't sound like that. Secondly, I don't even remember that. You roll your eyes, grab his wrist, pull him out onto the bathroom and down on the couch in the living room. We were sitting right here. You told me that Professor May I Kiss didn't count because it wasn't personal or sensual. And last night was both. You kissed me on purpose, and the purpose was because you liked me. Now admit it. Instead, his eyes flicker towards the door, and you know at once that he's gonna make a break for it. Yeah, he's like a cat. Don't even think about it. Before he can even make a move, he straddles his lap, gripping his wrists and pinning them to the back of the couch. Breath comes hard and fast, but as you look down at Drew, your breasts hover dangerously close to his lips. You even lean closer. Trust me, my thoughts are fully occupied. You're not gonna admit it, are you? I told you I got caught up in the moment. Which moment? Because if I remember correctly, things between us started heating up long before the locker. So I'm a flirt. Guilty as charged. It wasn't just flirting. There was also the dirty dancing at the party. You were literally all over me. Kinda hard to teach someone to grind from a respectable distance. Now, whether you believe me or not, one thing we can both agree on is that I have a class to get to, so as he stands and heads for the door, you make your way into his path, blocking the door with yourself. I made such a huge deal about me having a secret, bad girl persona, not being true to myself. But when it boils down to it, the great Drew Young is too afraid to admit it's not just harmless flirting. Knock it off, baby bird. You first, because you can deny it as much as you want, but I've been where you've been, the looks when you think I didn't notice. You look over in just enough time to see his eyes dart away from your chest. Trying to avoid touching because it'll derail your every thought, being turned on by the slightest hint of suggestion. You lick your lips as Drew watches, his eyes sinking closed as you catch her bottom lip between your teeth. Okay, yeah, I'm genuinely attracted to you. The end of the sentence trails off and you lean in smugly, eyebrows raising as you tuck a hand behind your ear. I'm sorry, what was that? I said I'm attracted to you, you sadist, but that has to go in the vault, I'm serious. The vault, please. I'm already drafting my next tweet. You whip out your phone and let your thumbs fly as you type a message. Graduated from flirtationship to future slam piece. Hashtag blessed. Okay, I know you're not posting that. Your mom follows your account. But not my ficta. And post. As his mouth forms a perfect O and you break out in peals of laughter, a minute later Drew follows. Oh, you're so dead. Give me the phone. He lunges forward and you sprint to your room with a playful shriek. He rushes in after you, gathering you in his arms. But the momentum sends you both careening into the mattress, and as he lands on top of you, the phone is forgotten. Your hands reach for the back of his neck, his eyes flicker to your lips before he sighs and presses his forehead to yours. I can still feel you thinking. That's because I've gotta know. If you're attracted to me, what are you waiting for? I want you now. You run a hand down his back, gripping his ass, grinding your hips against him until he moans, a ghost across your face. You have no idea how badly I want to, but I can't. He moves to his forearms and presses his knees into your inner thighs, spreading your legs wide. His lips brush the shell of your ear. Because from the first time our lips touched, I've been wondering if it would feel like to kiss you again. Wondering what it would be like to worship you with my mouth for hours on end. Or the sounds you'd make, that you'd taste like, that you'd feel against me, naked, panting, begging for more. Drew. Yo, no, I'm not gonna address that. I just know that feeling. His name falls from your lips as he traces a line up your inner thigh. A warmth blooms in your belly. A throbbing drums between your thighs. His finger nears the apex of your thighs, the moisture that's collected there. And just as you're about to beg him, he pushes himself up to a kneeling position. Doesn't change enough to make your head spin. But because I'm your RA, there's just to stay wonders. And if I ever did cross that line, say kissing you in a storage locker. His eyes meet yours as you struggle to push past the haze of desire and follow his meaning. Then hypothetically, I'd have a hard time thinking of anything else. One could lead to another, things could get messy. And that can't happen. Reluctantly, he crawls out of your bed, and it's not until the common room door closes in the distance that the spell breaks, leaving you alone with nothing but the aching and a puddle of coffee on the kitchen floor. Later, you slip into your horticulture lecture. I didn't know we were at Hogwarts, and without looking up from her notes, Samira moves her book bag from the seat beside her. You're late. Dr. Reardon just started the lecture. Besides, you're not gonna believe what happened to me last night. That makes two of us. Her voice is stilted, and just as you're about to ask why, the professor walks by and taps the flower pot in front of you. We can see the nitrogen deficiencies in yellow or pale green leaves. Adding coffee grounds directly to the soil can be one solution. Yes! Literally, when I made like a little short for people, and I also spoke about that a little. No, it's actually true. Like, I don't think people get it. Add coffee grounds to plants, grass, bushes, whatever. It really does help nature. Can anyone think of another? You lower your hand before he can call on you, and when you look up again, Samira's pout is turned even more sour. Since when did you pass up the opportunity for participation points? Since I kind of skipped the reading. Anissa! I know, but the party was so much better than the Dean's luncheon. The water gun fight alone was worth skipping it. And the Alpha Sisters were so cool. Yeah, who needs funding from a billionaire CEO? They've got the power of sisterhood on their side. Actually, they do. Did you know there's a network of well-off Alpha alums who fund collegiates that need tuition help? No, I must have missed that little lesson, and a privilege somewhere between matching you grind on your RA and running away in fear. Her sharp tone cuts through your elation, and as she finally looks up from her notes, you see the pursed lips, the furrowed brow, and the welled eyes threatening to cry hot, hateful tears. Whoa, what happened? Funnily enough, that's my line, considering you ditched me at the party last night. What? I saw you run off, didn't I? Oh no, she got in trouble, didn't she? She scribbles down the next set of notes furiously before following Dr. Reardon to a plant sunning across the room, and you hurry after her. I wish you could have seen me running. Maybe if I'd done that instead of looking for you, I wouldn't have a conduct hearing today. Imagine my surprise when the party cleared out. You and Drew were long gone, and it was just me and campus security hanging out. But don't worry, I caught your TV debut. Gotta admit, I didn't think nudity and football mixed, but you nailed it. Oh. Samira, I thought you had gotten out. I should have never been in, Anissa, and neither should have you. Ugh, I never thought we'd get in trouble, but you have to believe me. And for a moment, you meet her gaze, full of hurt, anger, pain, but with a sigh, she softens. Your friendship with Samira can weather any storm. I know you didn't mean for this to happen, but the fact is, it did. My coach is pissed. Peter G is so disappointed. And all I can think about is something like this or worse could happen to you if you keep hanging out with Drew. But Drew wouldn't let anything happen to me. Oh! Because last night isn't any indication that that's completely and utterly bullshit, but, hey. Samira pauses, and when she speaks again, you recognize the measured voice she puts on for boosters and wealthy alumni. And he said, how well do you know Drew? Better than most people, considering we live together? I mean, beyond that. I live with Navia, but we've only ever known each other for a few weeks. We're still strangers. And you think Drew and I are too? It sounds like Drew's more interested in making you who he wants you to be than in learning who you are. And as for you, well, you didn't answer my question. How well do you really know him? You can't help but feel defensive of your budding friendship, relationship, so you decide not to tell her about the locker. But as you think over her question, an idea occurs to you. I know him well enough to copy his whole social playbook. His charm offensive is what you need to get out of your hearing. The last thing I need is Drew flirting with the contact board on my behalf. I'll pass on his help. Thanks. Well, then when you accept mine, you reach over and stop her hand mid-note-taking. You were only at the party because of me. Let me make this right for you. Well, if you're sure you can handle it. I guess. A dazzling smile to make them lower their guard, a flirty compliment to sweeten the deal, and once I hit him with the bedroom eyes for the warm and fuzzies, he'll be a free woman. Let's hope so. After class, you and Samira head to the admin building, and with every step, Samira's nerves worsen. Are you sure this'll work? Almost positive. But it's important that you don't seem like you're expecting anything, so it has to come as a total surprise. Where'd you learn all this? Watching Drew, I guess. He's just so much more personable than I am. I think he reminds me a lot of you that way. The way you two talk for hours to anyone and lighten up a room when you walk in. You could do that too. Are you kidding me? I can't even manage high wealthy booster. Please give me money. You've never known what it's like to sit on the sidelines and wish you could do what comes so easily to everyone else. I totally feel Anissa. I do. Soccer star, world-class academic, eloquent to boot. It's not hard to be jealous of you sometimes. Are you kidding? I have that same thought about you. You're like an incredible filmmaker, and one day the whole world will see what I do. As you approach the desk, you channel Drew's casual posture, prop your elbows up on the surface, shooting the student worker smile. Hi, I'm Anissa St. James, and this is Samira Saheed. She's checking in for her first conduct hearing. Oh, sorry about it. Is the crime at least worth the time? Jury's still out. Well, at least you have a moral support. Are you, or are you an accomplice? As he shoots you a smile, you feel the old nerves fluttering up. Not now, Samira needs you. Quick, what would Drew do? You picture him standing next to you, and as his confidence bubbles over to envelop you, you know exactly what to say. Who, me? Couldn't be. I'm a perfect little angel, couldn't you tell? You throw it on your haughtiest smile, and the student worker laughs. Oh, for sure, you're just missing a halo. Yeah, no, the flame-proof ones at Walmart, they all sold out. And don't you forget it. Samira stares at you, eyes wide with shock as she takes in your rapid-fire, witty repertoire. I'm doing it now to go in for the kill. As the student worker taps at his keyboard, you lean in, lowering your voice slightly. Between you and me, I did put her up to it, though, and it just sucks that she's going down for my mistake. Subtly, you nudge Samira, and she quickly jumps in. No, it's my fault that I got rid of him. I knew we shouldn't have been at the party. And you said that from the minute we got there. You were trying to get me to leave. You turn to face the worker, peering over the desk as his name tag. Look, Sam, I know it's a lot to ask, but you wouldn't happen to know of a way we could make this go away, would you? I mean, she's sorry, right? So sorry. And I, for one, will never bring her to another band party again. We've both learned our lessons. Be that as it may, the incident report was written. I don't think there's much I can do. I'm just a desk monitor. Are you kidding me? Just a desk monitor? Would you take a good look around? You wave your arms at the tiny desk and surrounding office. The filing here is immaculate. The lines are never long. This place is crazy efficient. She's right. I have no idea how they'd run this place without you. I bet you know this place better than the admins. Well, I did have to help the dean convert a file to PDF. Oh, see, exactly. Someone who knows as much as you has to know a way to help. I don't know. He hesitates for just a moment. When you see his resolve wavering, please. Well, I am the one who fills out all the paperwork, hearing paperwork, since most of the REs don't, or, well, can't usually be bothered. Quickly, his fingers pound the keyboard in front of him, and in seconds, the report against Samira is on the screen. If I were to just disappear, no one would actually notice. After all, there were a lot of people picked up last night. Thank you, thank you, thank you! And I promise this will never happen again. It was my pleasure. Don't be a stranger, okay? You rush around the desk to hug your new friend, pride blossoming in your chest from your success. You're barely outside before Samira explodes. Okay, who the hell was that, and what have you done with my best friend? That was amazing. That was Soldier. When it comes to him, I'm a quick study. The promise of, yeah, is clearly a powerful motivator. It would be nice, but having Drew as my party guide is more than that. It's about finding out who I am outside of Anissa, the wallflower. But you are Anissa, the wallflower. Since when is that not good enough? Drew sees that I can be more. And isn't that what we came to college for? To be better than good enough? One thing's for sure, I didn't expect any of what I saw in there. If hanging around Drew is really helping you, then I guess I can deal. He pulls Samira into a hug, and for the first time in a long time, it feels like the two of you are closer than ever. But as she pulls away, Samira levels you with a firm look. Look, I know I must seem like a bitter stick in the mud, but I'm just trying to look out for you, the same way I always have. And although there's plenty of ways to say it, I'll leave it at this. Drew's not the type of guy you're used to. Be careful. But that's just it. Maybe I'm not looking for what I'm used to either. Maybe I want... Don't you dare tell me you're looking for casual. Nothing about you is casual, Anissa. Well, maybe I want to be. We're in college, you know, having college experiences. If I wanted the same old, I'd have stayed home. He's an experience. That's it. Fine, as long as you're alright with everyone getting a little piece of Drew Young experience. She motions behind you, and when you turn to see the quad, you see Drew walking with Davina. Oh, stop it, Drew. You're too much. I'm just saying. He leans in and whispers something in her ear, completely oblivious to your presence, and as Davina throws her head back in laughter, Drew gives her a dazzling smile, the one you recognize from all of his flirting at the foam party. Of course I don't. What Drew and I have is just fun. I told you. I've got it under control. Ah, said everyone ever. I sure hope so. She doesn't. Without further ado, thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down in the description of the video. Plenty of things to do, check out, and ways to support the channel. And again, ways to support the channel is to like the video, share the channel, and let me know what you thought of the chapter, you know, down in the comments. Let me know how your day is. Did you reach the end of the video? Anything, really, you know. Besides that, yeah, we'll leave it at that. Catch y'all later. Peace out.